Hey, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. It is actually episode 188 of the I Am a Fresh Approach show with Sonya. And I'm laughing at it being episode 188 because I had repeated and duplicated episodes 184 and 185. So they're there twice. I went through and renumbered them, but I'm not sure if the adjustments are going to be made across the board. How are you today? How 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 are you truly? It's the first time in a week the sun's been shining here. And with that, my personality's been shining as well. And I'm wondering if you're the same. If you gleam and glow and if you're that much brighter and bigger when the world is a brighter place because of the sunshine. I know I am. And what a difference a week's made. So a week ago today, I did Aquafit, and that was about it. I had landed on the couch for a week with a flare up. When I say a week, we're looking at a good 7 days. And I am just coming out of it now, so I know today I need to be super careful. But that's not what I've done so far. I've floated through the moments of the day, doing this, doing that, all the while bringing me pleasure. And when it comes to pleasure, sometimes it's the smallest things that jump out, right? So, for instance, I was paying a bill today, and my bill was $88.82. 888. So, triple eights. Let me read to you what that means. I knew it meant abundance of sorts, but I love what it is actually saying. Angel number 888 is an invitation from the universe to reveal in your spiritual abundance by doing what you really want to do. Abundance and success are yours when you engage in your creative spirit. You are an infinite being and your desires are manifesting now. So, without looking this up, today I actually did a couple of lives on TikTok, which I then shared. And one of those lives was a 100 kettlebell swing challenge. I did do that. That will be shared again on my YouTube. One of those moments where I was putting my happy juice together and showing everybody what that looks like. And these take creativity. I was actually working on a little bit of a painting here on the inside. And outside I was painting some wooden boxes. So without thinking twice about what 888 means, abundance, being led from your divine feminine when it comes to being creative and letting your soul speak to you. That's what today is all about. It's not a matter of misnumbering something. It's not a matter of my painting looking good or getting what needs to get done or doing it in a playful, fun, creative fashion, which is exactly how I did the 100 kettlebell swings, by the way. If you've never seen any of my workouts, you will certainly enjoy them on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions with links, just send me a quick message. Email is fine. SonyaJanisse at gmail.com. And while you're throwing letters together and coming up with something that makes sense, why don't you take a second and go check out my website, sonyajanisse.com. Simple as that. SonyaJanisse.com. See, today I want to just have a chat with you. One of those coffee chats that I do when I'm doing a heart to heart, but just, the three of us. Spider-Man, my water bottle, and you. Spider-Man is here because when Hudson comes over, we play, and this one goes up and down a wall. And I am just reminded of the creativity that comes with using your imagination as a child and how we get so fascinated watching something climb down a wall, or when we take our hands as if we're making spidey hands and calling in those spidey nets. Sorry, look, I'm all. Um, I'm all painted. So when a child is doing these little motions and notions and they're using their creativity to pretend they're a superhero, that's empowering. It's the same thing I want you to do today. I want you to step into the mind and the imagination of your younger self. And we're not going to go back and, walk a mile in her shoes or his shoes, but instead we're just going to marvel. Ha! Sorry, I had to say that. Marvel at the thought of what they could be thinking when somebody tells them to just be creative or to just go and do the things they love to do, everything that delights their soul. And what would that be? Would that be a form of painting or coloring or chalk work, markers even? Would that be a form of playing with action figures or Barbie dolls and playing as if you're part of a community with other people? Would that be playing with dirt in a garden and using your imaginations with Tonka trucks or Play-Doh or playing kitchen? Where do you let your mind daydream to? And often I remember when we lived in the country and I was a little girl, and I would just lay there on the green grass, staring at the clouds moving through the sky. And I don't remember if I actually thought anything in those moments or if I let my mind truly be at ease. But I do remember the peacefulness that came with it and the way the grass tickled me everywhere from those sharp little pointy corners and the stillness of laying there and the beauty of watching the magic of the clouds move. I still get in awe when I'm laying in the gazebo and able to see the clouds like that. I go right back to being that younger version of myself laying there outdoors in the country, just waiting. I was probably waiting for somebody to come home to unlock the house. Or I forgot that the key was outside, or I would imagine I was waiting for something for some reason, but it didn't faze me in one bit. I remember that. And so today I want to encourage you to step into a place or time where you can use your creativity. Is it in the kitchen? Is it playing with your kids? Is it a different way of getting your workout in? That's what I loved about the 100 kettlebell swings today. First of all, it's powerful and effective. It does not take very long. And as you're doing it, especially if you're recording and you're able to see your muscles engage, or you're able to truly see what your body is capable of, it's impressive. And it encourages you to do more of the same. It encourages you to eat healthier. It encourages you to push a little bit further and want to do a little bit more work, or maybe add that one more thing to your day. When I was in corporate, it was always conditioned into us to make that one final call. When you think you're done, make one more call because that one call could be everything. And a lot of people would have given up. And this is what happens when we let our creative imagination come to fruition. So I'm not saying the paintings are going to get anywhere, but they're going to lead to a different thought process, even if it's in the moment singing the songs. Or maybe it's going to lead to going for a walk outside, and that encourages you to hop on a call with somebody and things unpack and unfold from there. I just had an alert come through my phone and I'm seriously debating about going to it. It's for Aquafit at 4:30, which I would pretty much need to head over now and get changed when I get there, which is totally fine. I am thinking of going. It's 45 minutes of fun in the pool. I can walk back home afterwards. And what I like best about this is the creativity again. Singing songs, I am having fun, I am connecting with other people, and all of that is magic to me. And when it comes to adding those magical moments into our life, I want you to stop and think. Are you letting your imagination and creativity rule your day? Are you letting the moments of going through the motions running your day? Are you stopping to have those Spider-Man moments? Are you drinking your water bottle in a way that's fun and inviting? Do you have conversations or people like this coming into your life while you're doing the things that you're doing to make you feel so much better about where you're at in today, in this period of time that we call now? It is so beautiful to be able to bring everything together. So when you are doing something that you love, you're able to manifest so much more without thinking about it because you are literally in a good place. So if you say your prayers in the morning or at night, if you set intentions, if you live your life by design instead of by default, these are all things to be giving yourself credit for. And, today I'm calling this episode the Spider-Man edition. And that's because we often have to use those spidey powers to tune into what our body needs, what our mind, body, and soul needs. The power of the moment to pull us through to what's next. So yeah, the Spider-Man seems so fitting. And that's just because we're just gonna call it the Spider-Man episode. We should forget about those numbers, but it's actually episode 188, if you can believe that. Um, so I will catch up with my numbers. I did fix some of them, and this is another point that in the past would have really tripped me up. I remember I did pre-recorded episodes with people and I had lost all of that information. It's on a USB and now I can't access the USB and I'm still trying to remember to get it looked at to see if I can recover that. But when I do recover them, all of the episodes are going to be dated improperly. They all are. And oh well, what do you do? What do you do? You just roll with it. Like the Superman, like the Spider-Man. Why am I saying Superman? Like the Spider-Man episode. Every time I see this little Spider-Man, I think of two things. I think of when we all went to brunch at the Mandarin. My mom, my dad, all of my kids, my brother, was he there? I don't remember. And my grandson, everybody was in the one spot. And Hudson was gloriously watching Spider-Man go down the wall at the Mandarin. And we were all giggling watching his joy because it was pure and innocent. And then when he made a little cheeseburger, because he didn't know what to eat there, right? So he chose a cheeseburger and we put it together and he's like, a Krabby Patty, a Krabby Patty. And again, using your imagination. And I'm getting breathless just thinking about this right now. Then, when he comes to church with me, he literally gets his spidey hands going. And for those that are watching, I'm not sure, but I think I'm doing it right. Your thumb and your pinky out to make Spider-Man does whatever a spider spins a web. So he can spin webs with his hands like that. I'm remembering the song from when I was a kid. Yes, yes, yes. And it's all about creativity and imagination and letting that take you to the next level. Not staying stuck on the fact that you're thinking those thoughts or not staying stuck on the fact that, you're joking about Spider-Man but continuing that dialogue in your head and seeing where else it takes you once your body knows that it's safe to do so. There's a couple things I want to package up for you in a nice little box with a pretty little bow. And that is every single thing that we talk about in these shows, the progress is a cumulative effort. It's like me doing the 100 kettlebell swings. I am not going to see results today. I am not going to see results after day two. But if I continue to do 30 days of it, I will see results. And that's the same thing with you tweaking some of your thoughts, tweaking some of your water habits, tweaking some of your other habits throughout your day. You're going to get better at and better at neutralizing where those fit for you, at neutralizing where to focus and what to ignore for now, as you are flipping the script to your mindset and adding more fun and joy into your day-to-day life. There's something special about that. Um, I've been practicing that for years now, and even on my habit tracker, I have paint, I have fun, I have family time, I have friend time. These things matter more than other things matter. And I don't want to be as far as saying, these don't trump bringing in business. These don't trump being able to afford to help pay for my household. However, these are also important. It's like self-care does not mean you're selfish. It means you too, right? It doesn't mean that you're saying no to everybody else, but you're also saying yes to yourself. And here's a fine example of that. Tony and I have two different approaches to who we are and what that looks like around the house. Now, it probably comes from our backstories. His backstory is he's co-raised with their mom, two boys 15 years apart. He's had them pretty much every other day, and the wife's had the mother has had them pretty much every other day over the course of 15 years. That's pretty much what's happened with him and his kids, his storyline. My storyline is I raised three girls very close in age, 22 months apart. For the first 20 years, I moved away from home. So I moved back to my small town when my girls were all well, my youngest was in her teens. So I moved back here then, where I knew family, where I had friends, where I had a community. Wherever else I tried to raise them, I didn't have that same sense. So we have two completely different storylines. I have a very strong family, and he doesn't have a family. I have kids close in age. His are further apart. He had alternating days. It was just me. Two completely different storylines. I have come to the point where I've had health issues, including burnout, and now the inflamed nerves in my head. And over the last 5 years or so, I've been practicing putting me first, getting up, creating a successful morning routine, doing what I like to do to take care of myself. First and foremost, so I am ready to handle the world. Now, this didn't start yesterday. As I mentioned, I've been evolving this practice for 5 years. He doesn't do any of this. He supports it, but he doesn't do any of it. What I mean by support is he doesn't laugh when I say I'm meditating or doing the things that fill me up, like my Bible app or maybe moving my body. However, he doesn't do any of that. So he will get up and we'll both have our coffee time. I would have taken my time to fill my cup and do my things during that time. And then I will do whatever work needs to be done for my business for the day so it's done and I can put it away. He's the totally opposite than me now. He will do everything else for the house, and then if there's time, he will do what he wants to do for his business or for himself. Two totally different approaches. I've been forced to do things differently. It's as simple as that. He hasn't had that impact in his life yet. There is no right wrong. But if you're listening to this, then you are the type of person that is looking for something different, different than what you've been doing, different than the same old, same old. If you're not listening to this, you're not really interested in personal development. You're not interested in growth. Your wife, your partner, your husband might be listening to this, and you might be catching bits and pieces and be like, yeah, see, she said it. We're all at different stages. Oh, very interesting. My throat chakra got alive there when I said that. Mm. We are all on different stages with our journey. Because of this, I am a lot more in the moment now, right? But he is always on. He barely stresses. Now I have slowed down my stressing. There are wins that are visible, and there are wins that are invisible that only matter to you. Throughout that process, I want you to try to stay creative, have fun, add a little bounce to your step. See how those micro habits can turn into macro success. If you're curious about how I do things differently as a life coach, besides my 18 years of experience and lots of stories, and what tickles me pink, is it my exercise routine? Is it the food I eat? I've been sharing with you my journey for years now, and the hardest part right now is knowing that I need to focus on getting back into shape because I let myself go while I was dealing with the invisible chronic illness that I have. Not easy to be in this position where it's a bit of imposter syndrome. It's a little bit of knowing the difference. But I'm also showing up as a great example that your mental health is more important than the number on the scale. The number on the scale will impact your mental health, however. But if you know that it will impact your mental health and you're not in a good place, I want you to step back and don't start with the number. Take a picture, you know what you look like, and let's get these micro habits intervened into your day so you start to look at yourself so much more differently. All right, my beautiful friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Spider-Man episode, letting your creativity soar, climbing those walls with a really cool red and blue costume on, or singing the songs again. Singing is a form of creativity, playing an instrument. As much as I want to go to Aquafit, I don't know if I'm going to do the 20-minute walk plus the Aquafit plus the 20-minute walk back after I did the kettlebell swings. Oh, wait, tomorrow's Tuesday. All right, we'll see. I gotta head out. All right, guys, till next time, I will see you all on episode 189.